Hey guys, this is mainly just a video of me just wanting to make, a small little, explanation of what my thoughts are for the future of Pillar Chase 2. Um, so for now, I just want to present what I have for my thoughts, opinions, what I'm scared of, and yeah, that's mainly all I want to talk about. So what first I want to talk about is just the current state of the game, which is obviously it's down. It has copyright issues. I don't know how long it's gonna take for it to come back. But I'm somewhat worried that Pillar Chase 2 will be forgotten. Not like completely, but like less known. And don't get me wrong, as much as I loved old Pillar Chase back then with how how unpopular it was to say, and like how small the community was back then when it was like nice and humble and not toxic. I just don't really want to see the game die as much, because don't get me wrong, the game used to it still is popular. It's just like it used to be able to average like what, around 10 to 12k a day, and then kind of lowered ever since PCX dropped around like 4 to 5k. So I'm just a bit worried, I don't want this game to get forgotten from how long this closed state is going to be. And seeing how the game's going to get a complete almost rework of 70 to 80% of what Blade said, it has me a little bit worried. Don't get me wrong, I'm open for these changes. I'm happy that Blade is trying to find more comfortable ways to work with the game. But from my opinion, I just really don't think the game doesn't need that much of a change. It's a simple kind of identity that I like about Pillar Chase. It's what makes me play the game a lot. I don't think Pillar Chase needs like all this different kind of mechanics to make itself way more unique when it's already unique in its own way. I think it's more of like, you know, Pillar Chase 2 struggles of in like when you're not in a chase, The chases is the main thing that you want to be going for inside the game. Monster, you chase somebody, and then you have these perks to use when you're in a chase, to like make this way more engageable gameplay. But when the perk update dropped, there was just something missing that the game really needed, in my opinion. And what it needed, in my opinion, was something actually to do out of chases, Like, I made the suggestion, like, how maybe the map could be like, you grab other gears and then you put it into a task. So, it's like not really teamwork, but it's somewhat of a little bit of like doing the work yourself in order to complete an objective. So you can do something like outside of chase to actually have something more interactive to do, other than just wait in the corner or wait until you get chased with these perks that you use in chases. Now, don't get me wrong, the perks that Blade released were something amazing. That's what made my friend Joey actually play the game. But if it's only going to be perks that could probably potentially ruin monster gameplay, when monster gameplay back then was mostly supposed to be like, you're strong, you're the main tough opponent. You're supposed to like make these survivors know that you're the main thing that's going to cause the game to outlast longer and kill them. But honestly, it feels like, I won't lie, when Perry and Doom Gauntlet got that uppercut change, it really did ruin streams for me. I won't lie. Back when, old Pillar Chase, it would be kind of easy not to get as punished from a survivor back then with stamina management. But ever since this one item and then some perks combined, this somewhat made it a little bit overlooked, Like, I want these specific characters to be balanced and like looked out well. But just from this footage you can see, like, I'm playing Fawadi, right? And for some reason Fawadi's Silly Rush counts as an M1 just like MX's dash, right? So when you have these two abilities that could just get countered by one perk of such ability from one survivor, you'd be thinking, what's the point of using these abilities, Because that's what I really thought in my gameplay. The only thing I really did was either wait if a survivor got punished by a parry, which half the time if they're competent, they probably wouldn't be using parry against a Fawadi, or I do the natural 5-hit thing with trying to out stamina consistently when there's abilities that literally can out stamina his Oni vision now. Now, don't get me wrong, right? Blades have done a lot of great changes, I won't lie, Like, I actually do really love the map reworks that he did. Like, the Baldy revamp is a prime example of what Pillar Chase can be from how balanced that map is now. because back then it had terrible dead ends, but he made these dead ends actually valid, you know. And soon later he added the Oni rework, which I won't lie, I don't really see how people can see this as not broken, because one tech that you can easily do is, well, because his main character back then was right to outstamina the survivors, and he actually got buffed even more to get help with the outstamina the survivors, which is mainly the slide tech, which I wanted to show back then. Because I was making this video, right, of me doing Oni matches and showing how fast I get these matches done with this slide mechanic. Because you can just abuse this one slide mechanic in order to just server wipe and get out stamina survivors. And this is like one example of why I feel like things like this can get overlooked and made way worse, right? Hold on, let me drink some water. I'm kind of getting tired. Next, I want to talk about more so testing. Now, do not harass anybody in this video. I just want to express a little bit of how I feel more on testing. I feel like through the test sessions I had for a nearly long time in Old Pillar Chase, I really do hope more people or people on the team can get on the tester team to hopefully, you know, get a bigger range of testers for late night and morning, because these test sessions are really random and can happen out of nowhere. Because, you know, I'm just saying, the tester lobbies I feel like aren't actually tester lobbies. Like, there's times where, you know, we do bug fixes and the bug fixes are actually really well. We do bug fixes well, but it's the balancing that I just think we just don't do well at all, because Blade can't test these monsters without a lobby of a max of 3 to 4 people. And that's a huge problem of why these updates have been like kind of overlooked or unbalanced, you know. I try my hardest, you know, to look out for these changes, and I know a lot of other testers do and try their best to like make it go well, but some testers on the team I just don't really see often inside the tester lobbies as much. And don't get me wrong, I think everything is going well so far from what Blade has. I just think there can be way more into that, which can make it better, because the new testers are actually great. I saw how well they're you know, going inside the lobbies, testing the things, testing out extra like mechanics in the maps, like the Oni map. I think that testing went really well, honestly, for what they did. I think for their first testing it was amazing. Like I'm saying here, I really do wish the game was tested better, which honestly I could probably give myself some constructive criticism for what I gave, but I really do think this game needs some kind of new like balanced team, which obviously I don't want you guys to enforce. I don't want anybody to like be up in Blades like ass, like saying balancing. Like, no, please don't do that. I did try before and it was something I kind of regret, because, you know, it would trigger Blade and I kind of felt bad because, you know, I was kind of pushing it too far. But it's just like, from my viewpoint, you know, I really do wish more feedback was accepted or at least known. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to know more so of what's going on, right? Like, I feel like I give these suggestions, like a lot of them, and I feel like it's kind of ignored. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Blade's just like overlooking them more than like, not overlooking, wrong word, more so like he's kind of forgetting or forgettable for things, and I think sometimes he just kind of forgets about things and forgets to type it back, you know. And I'm making this video more so to make him like hear out my viewpoint. I kind of do wish he responded a little bit more to what I've been saying through tester chat of my feedback, and more so like, you know, made acknowledgement of like, yeah, sure, this mechanic was really bad or overlooked. I'll get that. I'll overlook that later, which he does. Don't get, like, he does do that sometimes, but not as much as I want him to do, because I just don't think, from how long I'm making these messages, he doesn't really understand what I'm trying to say here. Because one prime example, right, was me mentioning about a video like the uppercut gauntlet, and me making a video exclusive to showing how this thing's broken. It was more like kind of like how he had to experience the actual like Doom Gauntlet himself inside a lobby filled with content creators to actually know how it felt, which I kind of just was a little bit annoyed how my feedback kind of got overlooked because of his own experience from the lobby, which I thought, you know, from how much time I kind of took into making this video, expressing my feedback and expressing making up a suggestion for a balance change, it really did feel like, you know, it kind of hit me, you know. I really do wish my feedback was taken more lightly, since, you know, I really do try to look through everybody's messages through the community server, through my comments, through Reddit. I try my best to see all these kind of suggestions, what's wrong with the game, and mostly everything, you know. But since the game's getting a rework, I'm gonna try my best to join Tesla lobbies. You know, I have summer now, so since Pillow Chase 2 sadly closed down during summer, where I actually played the game mainly back then with my channel, there's not gonna be probably a lot of Pillow Chase 2 content I can make on my channel, except for maybe you guys to help me. So yeah, so far we got Pallets and third person, which, you know, I'm really down to try. Don't get me wrong. I think maybe they can be nice changes. I think the escape could actually help a lot, honestly. I think escape, like, is more basic with asymmetrical horror games, but I think it'd be a nice leap of Pillow Chase, you know. It'll be more easier and make survivor gameplay more interactive, which is what the game needed, in my opinion. So yeah, honestly, I just wanted to express more on how this game probably needs way better balancing, which is honestly what people say. They say that it's monster sided when it really, in my opinion, it's survivor sided. The game has taken a huge impact with survivors when the perk update dropped, which in my opinion was a great update, but was still overlooked in my opinion. It needs some tweaks. But other than that, you know, I'm a little bit saddened that Pillow Chase is, you know, getting a rework. I'm kind of scared for how long it's gonna take, but you know, we gotta trust Blade. We gotta trust the team. We gotta give our feedback. We gotta give them support. And yeah, hey Blade, if you're watching this, I just want to, like, yeah, help you view my viewpoint of what the game, how I feel, what the community feels. Don't take, you know, people's feedback very hard, because, you know, that's why I kind of been seeing a little bit of well, at least from my experience, in my opinion, what I've been seeing so far. Kind of like the Samsonite nerf. Samsonite didn't need a nerf. He needed a buff. Just because, you know, somebody's experience didn't go well, you don't need to, like, nerf this character when all he needed was a buff. Because his whole point is mainly for, you know, punishing, you know. Don't go inside the domain. You're supposed to avoid the domain. You're not supposed to nerf the main ability that a character needs in order to secure kills, you know. But other than that, I love Pillow Chase. I love you guys. Blade's the whole reason why I have you guys, and the whole reason why I have this channel, why I'm making money, why I'm editing, why I'm enjoying myself during summer breaks. And yeah, I love you guys. I just wanted to talk about extra things, the future. And yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed the 14-minute galley app. And yeah, see you guys.